Hello bookish people, welcome back to my channel. My name is Megan. In today's video we are filming my favorite video to film every single month, and that is my TBR videos. This one is my February TBR. The way this goes is I have prompts. We pick 10 of them. We pick 10 books to go on my TBR for the month, and last month I did really well. This top shelf here is my TBR for January, and out of the 10 books here plus my 2 book of the month and aardvark picks, so that's 12 books total, I have read 6 of them because I read my aardvark book, I read my book of the month book, and then from my monthly TBR I have read 5 of the ones that I selected in the last video, and I'm currently in the middle of reading Phantasma, which will be number 6 for me. So very excited that I have gotten a lot accomplished from my regular TBR, and I am currently on a readathon to complete my entire TBR in the month of 2025, which means this is my 2025 TBR cart reset, and I want to get as much of this TBR cart read by the end of February as possible. So all my TBR picks will be coming straight from this cart, but even if I don't pick it, I'm probably gonna read it if it's on this cart. You know what I mean? By the end of February. So let's get into it. Let's pick our prompts, let's pick our stuff, and let's get started. Let's pick our first prompt and let's kick it off on a good note. Let's see what we get. Bought because of the hype. Thank God I have a ton of those on here. Ooh, we're gonna do this one. This one is such an easy giveaway. I have things like stacked on top because my cart is full and I went book shopping today and bought these 2, but that's besides the point. Okay, bought because of the hype. Legendborn by Tracey. Deonn. This is one that I was mentally planning on reading in February anyway, so perfect to put it in this video. This is a urban fantasy. I think that just means a fantasy that takes place in the real world, kind of like City of Bones, right? It kind of takes place in the real world, although that also has a mythical world to it, versus a completely made up fantasy world. So I'm very excited to read that. I mainly read like fantasy books that take place in fantasy worlds, so I'm very excited to see how I like it in a real world setting, because outside of City of Bones, I don't think I've really read too many fantasy books that take place in a real world setting. And I would really love to read this and Bloodmarked, which is the sequel. Maybe I'll fit that into this TBR because the 3rd book in the series is coming out in March. So what better way to prepare than to kind of just like binge it all in a row. Prompt number 2, let's see what we got. Romance. A romance in February. I have so many contemporaries too on this like shelf because this is exactly what I was thinking for February, that I was going to be reading a contemporary romance. Okay, let's see. I have 3 that I can pick from. I think the one I'm gonna end up picking, because it's like kind of like the most realistic pick, is Unfortunately Yours by Tessa Bailey. Well, honestly, it's not the most realistic, so I'm probably going to listen to all of them via audio, so they're all gonna get read. But anyways, this is one we're adding to the TBR. Unfortunately Yours by Tessa Bailey. This is the 2nd book. The 1st book is Secretly Yours, and I didn't love it. I wasn't planning on reading this, but it got added to my physical TBR when I found it in a thrift store, and I couldn't resist. So this is a marriage of convenience, I believe, because she's in a wedding dress and also peep her like Louboutin heels. But I don't know anything about it, and that's fine. We're gonna go in blind. I'm gonna listen to the audiobook. Hopefully it's a good time. Prompt number 3, let's see what we get. Author with same last initial. Do I have any authors on here with the same last initial, which would be a G? We have Becca Grisham on here, but I actually already read that one. I read this right before Onyx Storm. Unfortunately, I have nothing with the letter G on my TBR cart, and this is a real... Ooh, I do have the Christmas Tree Farm. Actually, I just realized I have the Christmas Tree Farm. This would be my only choice. Let me see. We could do that one, but I have to look at my Libby app to see if the hold is going to come through in February or not, because that one I have decided to listen to via audio. Okay, the Christmas Tree Farm is still 7 weeks out, so I don't think that one is going to work. So we are just going to repick a prompt, which I don't really love to do, but I found one. It was staring me in the face this whole time. Love Interest by Gilmore. Claire Gilmore. Lori Gilmore is this book. Claire Gilmore is this book. Okay, we have a Love Interest. This is an aardvark pick from back in what, May or so? I don't really know, but this is a contemporary rom-com. It's an office romance. Definitely gonna be listening to this via audio, and this one will definitely get accomplished. What better time to do it than around Valentine's Day? Honestly, the whole month of February is a month of love because it has Valentine's Day in it, so therefore I think all romance February, it makes sense. Let's go to the 4th prompt. Let's see. Prompt number 4. We have Pink on the Cover. The book for Pink on the Cover is A Dream On by Angie Hockman. This has pink flowers. She's wearing a pink dress. Another contemporary romance. Honestly, like I said, February is my month to kind of knock a bunch of my contemporary romances off of my TBR, accomplishing my goal of reading my entire TBR. And I don't even really know why I bought this, because romances I like to listen to anyway, so why would I buy a physical copy of it? Regardless, it is about a girl who goes into a coma. She has a dream. She dreams of as a magical man, not magical man, but magical as in he is like the one for her, right? He is her soulmate. And she wakes up and she's like, oh, he's not real. And then she goes to work in her flower shop, and then the guy walks in and she's like, oh my god, there you are, you're real. And then somehow it's a romance between them. I don't know, I hope I'm saying that correctly. I bought this book like 2 years ago, year and a half ago, and I'm repeating the synopsis that I learned a year and a half ago when I bought this book, so hopefully that is correct. Let's see what we get for prompt number 5. A book with less than 300 pages. Oh, thank you. I love a book with less than 300 pages. Okay, for this one, while the book I just bought does have less than 300 pages, I'm trying not to add this to my TBR because this is supposed to be about removing things from my TBR from 2024, okay? Okay, let's get into this book. This is a novella, and it is Odd Spirits by S.T. Gibson. I don't know much about this, but then when I added it to my Goodreads, I realized this is a prequel novella to Evocation, which I have not read. So I'm going to read the prequel novella without reading the original book. Because honestly, when I read the original book, like the synopsis for it, Evocation, like I'm not interested. But I read the synopsis for the novella and I bought it not knowing it was like part of this series. And I was interested. It's about like this married couple and they live in a house and there's like spirits and ghostly things. And I don't know, it just sounded interesting. There's something about it that I really liked. Okay, and I'm excited to read it. And look at that cover art. Even though it's a novella, look how pretty, and look at the art. This has like about 112 pages, so right under 300. Now we're moving into prompt number 6. A thriller. So thriller I don't have, but I do have a horror, which I feel like is in the thriller realm, or I do have a mystery, which is also in the thriller realm. So we're gonna go with mystery, and that is Everyone on This Train is a Suspect by Benjamin Stevenson. This is the second book in this cozy mystery series. I guess you could call it a cozy mystery. The first one is Everyone in My Family Has Killed Someone, which I read and I loved, and I cannot wait to read this one. I need more of, what is his name? Ernest Cunningham, right? That's his name, Ernest Cunningham. I need more of him in my life because I love like the character. It narrates the story and it's done in such a unique and cool way, and I'm obsessed. I love. So very excited to read this one. Prompt number 7. We have a 2024 release. Okay, a 2024 release. This is easy because I have a ton of them on this cart right now. For this one, I will be picking The Teller of Small Fortunes by Julie Leong. This is a cozy fantasy. It was my book of the month pick in November because it was a complete cover buy because I'm obsessed with the cover of this book. The colors, the cat, the girl, like everything about it is just so pretty. I'm obsessed. And I think this is about a, let's see, a wandering fortune teller finds an unexpected family in this warm and wonderful debut family. Found family, coziness, like this is everything that I love. So this one is one I feel like I'm going to either be bored or rate really highly. It could go either way. So we'll see how it goes this month. Prompt number 8, we're getting down to the final 3. Let's see what prompt number 8 says. Won an award. Won an award. Who won an award? Let's see who won an award. Oh, you know what? Let's go on my phone. Because honestly, none of these have like won like Newbery medals or anything. That's like the only book award I know. So let's look which one has won a Goodreads Choice Award and we'll go with that one. I had a feeling it was the case. We have A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. This one I am on currently on page 204, which is chapter 19, and I DNF'd it, but not in a negative way, just in like I got bored and moved on type of way. Not bored in a boring way, but I read ACOTAR and this back to back and like I was just like, I need something different. But anyway, we have A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. This one won the 2016 Goodreads Choice Award for I don't know what category, but it doesn't matter because it's a winner. It won an award, which means we are reading it in February. And honestly, after reading Onyx Storm, this book for some reason was on my mind. I was like, oh, I really want to read it because like Reese, Zayden, I don't know, it goes together. It made me think of it. I want to read it. Moving on to the final two, we have proms number 9. Let's see, we're gonna go to the side of the bowl I never go to. Let's go to this side. I never go to this side. An author with the same first initial. I was scared we almost got the same prompt. No, same first initial, an author that starts with an M. Let's find something. The only author I have on here that starts with the letter M is Corland, and that her book is 5 Broken Blades. The sequel for Ruined Realms recently came out, so it would be a perfect time to read this so I can just read them back to back and not forget anything. This says on the back, let the best liar win. I have talked about this book in so many TBR videos. Will February be the month I finally do it, or is this just one of those books that is doomed to live on this cart for the rest of its life? Well, considering I have a whole goal of reading my entire TBR, it would be until the end of 2025 because I am accomplishing that goal, okay? But yeah, we have 5 Broken Blades. Based on what my TBR looks like so far, I actually don't see why I wouldn't be able to read this this month. I definitely think it can get accomplished. So I have high hopes. February will be the month I finally do it. And the very last book on my TBR for the month of January is going to be, what is it gonna be? We have cozy book. A cozy book. I have 2 cozy books on my TBR right now, and they are The Spell Shop and A Pirate's Life for Tea. So we have to decide which one we want to read between the 2. Honestly, for this one, we are going to go with A Pirate's Life for Tea by Rebecca Thorne. I read the first book in this series, which I'm looking over here because it's right over here, and that is Can't Spell Treason. Did I just say treason? Can't Spell Treason Without T. Loved, rated 5 stars. Have to move on to the sequel. I decided to pick this one between the 2 because we have no sapphic books in here and I think we need one at least on the TBR for the month. So we have A Pirate's Life for Tea. It says a cozy fantasy where love sets sail. Readers of Travis Baldry and TJ Klugh will feel right at home with this cozy sapphic fantasy. Love, obsessed. What I love is the characters. Because, okay, the thing I love about this cozy series in particular, because cozies can go either way for me, but what I really enjoy about this one is there's plot to it. It's not just like boring, you know what I mean? There is plot to the book, but what I really love about the characters, specifically the relationship, is there's no drama in the relationship, right? Like you can just like enjoy their happiness together and they kind of deal with the plot together, you know what I mean? Like the plot isn't them fighting and this and that and oh my god, like that would ruin the cozy vibes. Like they're happily together and whatever is happening in the book, they're tackling it together as a team. So that's what I really like about this. Very excited to read this. I was almost read this in January, so February will be the perfect time to do so. And lastly, I've never done this before, but this is my unofficial TBR. These ones. We are unofficially adding these to the TBR list. My most current purchases, I bought them today. The Rainfall Market and Watermoon. And then lastly, we have the sequel to Legendborn, which is Bloodmarked. And here is my official TBR for the month. Definitely fantasy heavy, also a lot of contemporary romances. We do have 1 mystery in here. I am so excited to start my February reading because if I can accomplish all these books, I will be very happy. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe down below and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!
It was a long time from where we started, day to day. I had this feeling